Hello everyone, welcome to today's webinar brought to you by ViTrox. So my name is TJ and I'll be your host today. We're so excited you guys were able to join us. So today our topic is going to be V1 Connect, Visualize, ProAct for SMEs in general machines, presented to you by our V1 team, Mr. Gary Leong and Mr. Ryan Yep. Today's topic will have a lot of information on V1, which works great with anyone who's looking towards Industry 4.0 initiative or to transition from a traditional factory towards the new Industry 4.0 smart factory. We have some really great information for you today, so you're gonna walk away with a lot, and we want to make this as interactive as possible for you all. A couple of things to keep in mind throughout this presentation. You can ask questions, so feel free to submit in the Google form with the link that you'll see in the Zoom group chat. And meanwhile, we will remind you to submit your questions throughout the presentation. So keep an eye out to the group chat. We will answer them at the end of the presentation. So without further ado, let's start this presentation with Mr. Gary.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming to our online webinar series 2020. Well, in fact, in ViTrox back in 2018, we had our first webinar, but during that time, the hosts, the co-hosts, and the speakers are all in the same room. Unlike this one, it's the first time for us where all of us are at home. I hope including you as well. In this presentation, I'm sharing we will touch directly to the topic of interest, whereby I'll skip the introduction of V1 to spare your precious time. However, if you want to know more about ViTrox, especially to our new friends, please go to our websites at www.vitrox.com. IoT is not new anymore, and so is Industry 4.0. However, in Malaysia and Southeast Asia, the adoption level is still low. Many thought that automation is Industry 4, and others thought that in order to achieve Industry 4, one must first achieve Industry 3. Because of this pandemic, many manufacturing factories of all industries are either stopped their production entirely or running at a very minimum people. Don't you think that if you have implemented full suite of Industry 3 and Industry 4, just at the brink of time, for example, end of last year, your impact on the current situation would be minimum? Let me go directly towards some of the implementation of vertical industries on some of our customers, on confidential reasons, I will not name them. Some of the metal fabrication companies that we are working with wants to have critical machine parameters information on all their CNC machines, molding machines, laser cut, wire cut machines. With this, they can do predictive maintenance, load scheduling, operations planning, and many, many more. In the middle section of this presentation, my colleague will share more in details in each of the application. If you're in the food and beverage processing industry, line stoppages will be the critical point to you. Raw ingredients for food are deposited on a regular basis, and they have a very short shelf life. Therefore, production line stoppages, MTBF or mean time between failure, and yield are some of the critical information you want to monitor and ensure they run smoothly even with minimum supervision. If you're in the packaging industry, perhaps the most important process parameters would differ slightly. To you, raw materials shelf life is not that important as they are not perishable, but energy efficiency is. Another requirement will also be automated quality inspection, be it optical inspection or test inspection. In ViTrox, we have a small agricultural farm where our objectives is to enrich ViTroxians with organic and nutritious vegetables from farm to table. To turn an industrial land's non-fertilizing land, unbalanced pH level soil into an agriculture farm today that produces more than 20 types of vegetables is not easy. Much work has been poured in and constant monitoring, and with limited resources, limited workforce are needed actually. How about if you're not in manufacturing? What about other important processes where you already have the systems in place to input, trace, and track, like the ERP system? For example, some of our new customers in this field had their ERP system implemented long time ago. However, they do not fully utilize and the functions of the ERP due to the many reasons, such as customizations efforts or even costs. What they can do is extract the data out into Excel or Google Sheets or certain types of database from a third-party pool so that they can do some analysis. So here, V1 acts as a business intelligence tool to provide them the customized visualization and the customized analytics required. In ViTrox application, for example, our procurement department connects to their 500 more suppliers via V1 and also MRP to track, trace, and optimize the delivery lead time, which is very essential for machine building businesses like ViTrox, especially in this time during the MCO. Next slide, please. Now, perhaps you ask me, is V1 the only software that I need to transform my industry towards Industry 4.0? I wish to tell you yes, but in reality, it is not. The journey continues where you need to start somewhere by identifying your key critical process to digitalize. We call this digital transformation. Once you start the first step, move on to the next step and continue onwards. In ViTrox, we have many software that we can use to help us manage our different departments' usage requirement. For example, we use SolidWorks for design for manufacturing. We use Jira to track all our project management and OKR, Objective Key Results. And of course, we also use Google Platform, not only in Gmail, but also in communication, file sharing, collaborative workspace. And we use MRP and ERP as well for warehousing, procurement, and costing management. Above all, we use V1 to connect to the relevant information from all these softwares into a digital dynamic dashboard for further analytics when needed. So you ask me, what is V1? This is a question probably you have right now, at your mind right now. Let me read this description for you as it explains well. V1 is an Industry 4.0 platform that collects big data from cloud, fog, or edge for analysis with fully flexible visualization, drill down charts, and flexible dashboards to provide meaningful analytics so that users can use it on a real-time basis and extend the platform towards complete data feeding even further for artificial intelligence processing. So in short, it connects to machines or databases, visualizes them in flexible and self-created dynamic drill-down dashboards, and enabling proactive actions such as fault detection in preventive, predictive, and some even on process improvements via closed-loop machines to machine communication. AI will be used for more advanced analytics when a clear desired output with sufficient labeling information for teaching and inferencing on the edge. So how does it work? You can have machines that either runs on PLC or computer-based. If they are computer-based, it will be easier where software programs are needed to extract the sensory data captured within the machine. If it's a PLC-based, then connecting to the key PLCs to extract the data and users gateway to consolidate and transmit them into cloud or servers for database storage. If the machines are manual, then you need to add sensors on top of it. Thereafter, visualize in V1 your desired charts easily to build for you or by your team, because every process owners, especially engineers, wants to see their own information with the capability to drill down for more information. In ProAct, you create a simple block drag modules with predefined functions by drag and drop to project a desired response if an anomaly happens beyond once or more thresholds. So in these overall stages, if your company is very good with Connect, we will work with you on Visualize and ProAct. We also have system integrators, partners, to provide consultation to identify which areas to begin with. So from this slide onwards, my colleague Ryan Yap, who has many years of on-the-field experience in system integration, will share with you some of the steps by steps. I'll come back to you in stage 4. So Ryan, I pass the mic to you.
Thank you, Mr. Gary. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ryan. I'm responsible on the ecosystem of the business intelligence and the solution support for the Industrial 4.0. With the past 20 years of the experience, I involve a lot of various kinds of the industries, such as metal fabrication, F&B, administrative, logistics, and others. So without wasting any time, so let's go to take a look on what are the phase of the implementation and initiative that need to be done for the SMI, so they can start to work on implementation plan. So everybody already know that the SMI industry, we do have a manufacturing sectors and the servicing sectors. Okay, this is our two major category parts. So for the manufacturing, definitely we'll have the start with the manufacturing. So most of the manufacturing and the fabrication sector must have their own machine allocated in the production area. So it will be regardless that how old or how new of the machine, and then the model blends, whatever it is, you must have a machine that have some kind of like the central processing unit, which is called it as a PLC, or the major controllers that control the whole machine. So as per highlight over there. For the such as metal fabrication machine, CNC machine, they do have a lot of the controllers, well-known controllers. And then for the food processing, they must have a extruders, fried machine, and then the seasoning machines. For the others industries, such as this kind of the different kind of the machines, others, okay, etc. Basic requirement and the requirement for every single production machine, you're supposed to have a PLC or the controller like on-run controller, Siemens or Fanuc, all well known of the Mitsubishi controllers. Okay, so each of the controllers supposed to have integrated with a well-known protocol, the international standard protocol like the OPCOA, MT Connect, MQTT, or some others are readable, functional, and able to do the data extraction protocols. And then via for the various kind of the connections, such as RS-232, EtherCAT, all those kind of the common connection ports. This is a breakdown that the basic requirement must have on those kind of the each of the production machine. So it must have all those kind of the various kind of the controller, as long as it can able to support those kind of the well-known protocol and the connection interface available in the controller itself. Next slide. The requirement is very straightforward. For the well-known one, it will be the network. Okay, if you want to have a wireless environment, you can have a Wi-Fi or LoRaWAN or Zigbees. And then for the data extraction parts, either machine maker do provide all those kind of the third party or their own agent software tools, so you can have a software extraction tools from the machine makers. Like example, our ViTrox machine, we are using the V1 agent to do the data extraction. And then for the Fanuc controller, they have their own extraction tools like the MT-Link I. And then for the others kind of the CNC machine, packaging machine, F&B machine, as long as they are providing the third-party tools, yes, you can have them to utilize their extraction tools, convert all the data into the classified database. Then for those who are not providing anything, you need to write down your own the data extraction programming to retrieve all the data. This one we're going to explain in more details after this session. So by all the requirements that embrace the fundamental of the connectivity for the production machine towards the data extraction are set up as per diagram show. Okay, so you have the machine that has a controller with a connection port connected, assisted by data extraction tools to convert all the controller signals to the data form, and that's stored into the classified database. So while we are going to talk about a lot of the production machine, which is with the latest IoT technology enabler available. So how about we are talking about the machine which is already have 2 or 3 decades years old already, meaning to say that 20 years to 30 years, and still able to operate and function well. Okay, I know that most of the SMIs entrepreneurs, they were going to fully utilize the machine whatever they can as long as possible. So they were not going to invest so many monies. They're going to buy a new machine with IoT enabled technology. So what you can do, actually there is a lot of the solution, okay, in the market to deal with the old and the legacy machine. They might not have any kind of the connectivity interface. just like what I mentioned in the previous slide. So in the legacy device requirement, you need to go in to do a lot of the effort by installing the edge device and the IoT gateway in order to get connected and for the data connection, such as a lot of the proximity sensor, heat sensor, pressure sensor, and then for the scanner, you can using the barcode RFID for the IO device like IPC and the gateway to connect everything for the sensor or the scanner. So for the power light, you also can apply for the power light with the Wi-Fi signal, which is they are able to going to transmit or translate the signal data into the data form. For those who are willing to going to capture the on-screen value into the data, you also have an OCR screen capture as well. This is all those kind of the edge device equipment that currently market have got a lot of thousands or millions kind of the sensor device or the reading device, scanning device. So as long as all those kind of sensor and the edge equipment, they're able to go in to transmit into the data, then it will going into the gateway and then collect all those kind of the raw data and then convert into the classified data and then store inside the database. And then for the gateway connectivity, it will be straightforward. It's a network like TCP/IP, Wi-Fi, or LoRa. So for the legacy infra requirement here, so definitely we need to have a very straightforward, your infrastructure in the surrounding of the production machine. It must be have a network or a Wi-Fi or LoRa or all those kind of the communication tools means. And then for the data extraction parts, for the data extraction, you can have your own IPC device to get connected all for the sensors into and then store inside the IoT gateways. And then with the apps that able to convert all the signal data into the database, such as like Node-RED, AWS IoT, or IO breakers. Or if you have more than 10 or 20 sensors that you need to go to capture and then will be controlled by the one IoT gateway, then you need to go to work out with the another PLC combination as well. So all those kind of things are very straightforward. All the data captured from the signal and then convert into the data and then store inside the classified database. By all the requirement already in place, okay, same as what I discussed in the previous slide, fundamental the connectivity for the production machine has been in place, and then the data extraction will be set up as per diagram below. So you have the machine that has a connector with the connection port connected, and then assisted by the data extraction tools to convert all the control signal to the data form, okay, and then store inside the database. Okay, for the servicing sector, mostly rely on the transaction data. Okay, when we're talking about the servicing sector, it will be more on the administrative part, and it will be more on the planning, administrative, accounting, logistic, transportation, which is involving a lot of the transaction data. And then these data are the crucial part, which is we need to go to have a traceability for the reference and the data analysis purpose. Okay, either in the manual form or in the system application tools with well-organized and classified data in the data storage. So for the software-wise, it will be well-known software such as the accounting software like UDS, and then ERP like SAP, Oracle, and then some of the Epico, Jira, all those kind of the software application, which is responsible for the user data to key in all the transaction data and then keep inside into the data storage, either in the database format or it will be the manual form. Okay. So by all the requirement has been in place, the fundamental, the connectivity, okay, as per shown below. So you have the software application with the assist by the entry clerk or team personnel who work for the routine transition job, but keep on input the transaction data daily basis into the data storage. What we want going to do is we want just going to portal crunch into the database for the analysis and publish into the statistic charts. So for the IoT enabled process will be the start from the edge technology towards the business intelligence platform. This is not a simple task and require a lot of the effort to execute the connectivity stage because numerous kind of the edge solution and the application solution worldwide to deal with various kind of the industries. So we need to go to identify the specific and suitable solution to deal with the specific parameter and process that currently being practiced in the certain industries. When the effort has been done in the first stage, so right now we'll go to the stage 2 to visualize the data captured from the system or machine and the edge equipment. So how we're going to deal with it is, in the V1, as long as the data that's stored into the centralized server, they are stored in this following format. Example, Excel, Cloud, or SQL. V1 are capable to port it and then grab all the data from the analyze and then showcase the statistic chart into the dashboard. Okay, the showcase can be done using any kind of the device platform, such as PC, laptop, or the mobile phone in any means. So user can customize their dashboard by using the preloaded standard charts tool available, or they also can customize their own to present and describe their production data in the proper way. So let me give you an example for the next slide that are what we are done for our previous customers. So let's start with the metal fabrication. So what you can see in the dashboard, Business Network is a metal fabrication company. Okay, for this chart, it will going to show the machine OEE, machine utilization. So how is the current status? And then my machine, is it running or not? And then it will going to show all those kind of the machine production data. So if you carefully look on the right bottom side here, this also able to going to showcase that the machine preventive maintenance data, which is they were going to counting the machine counter, the fan RPM, and then the temperature of the spindle for the spindle load pressure. The following all those kind of charts, it will going to show that what are the current spindle position they are being active during they are cutting all the machine. And then they also show all those kind of the alarm histories, such as the door not closed properly or the spindle blade is broken. So the correlation between all these 6 types of charts, it will going to show the level of the certain parameter of the sensor data. By this time frame, it will show that what are the levels and what are the status of the other parameters like CO2 concentration, humidity, nutrient concentration, water level, and all those kind of the temperatures. For the sales and the forecasting, so you will also able to going to port it together with the ERP system or the procurement system or all those kind of the inventory system to showcase what are the sales and the revenue, the current status, and then they're able to going to use the chart to going to do the forecasting, such as this. This one will be more on the current active user who are using our V1 system worldwide. Right now, you already have your accumulated data in the storage already, and then you're also able to describe and present your data into the statistic charts and do some kind of the reporting. So you might go into thinking that it's not going to be the end of the story in the Industrial 4.0 already. So as you already have your mind that you already know that the data will going to tell you what is happening to your production line, what is the critical process like now, and what are my machine going to give me some problem or some errors? Is it my revenue is dropped already? So what are you going to do? So you need to going to give the data. You need to let the data going to tell you something by giving you some heads up. In case if something goes wrong, you have to make sure that the data works for you and not yourself to go to work for the data. So stage 3 ProAct will come to step in this implementation. So for the ProAct stage will involve in 2 modules. So one of the module, we call it as an alert plan, as per screen show here. So these tools will going to perform the triggering and the action in any event based on the user requirement in terms of the data parameters. So user, you're just going to simply going to drag and drop the module that you want and then set the scheduling for counter check the data. So to check the whereby the data reading encounter the threshold limit reached in every second of time or minute or even hour. So when you are going to developing the alert plan, and once you already apply and then deploy the alert plan, when the V1 detect any parameter threshold limit has been reached, then it will send the notification in communication tools such as e-ticket, email, SMS, WhatsApp, and any other communication tools. So another one of the module in the ProAct stage is called it as a e-ticketing. Respective user will receive the ticket form either from the alert plan, auto-generate, or manual raise form by raise the e-ticket, and also user able to receive the ticket through the mobile device and then make a response on the ticket. So with the e-ticketing as an optional module in place into the V1 platform, normally we are going to encourage that we're going to set up the control center to monitor the whole production process into the one place with minimal headcount needed. So in the event of the machine breakdown has been triggered, control center, we're going to send the ticket to respective personnel to attend the issue and then close the ticket when the job has been done. So every ticket has been raised into the V1 from start until it closed. So every transaction or ticket movement can be tracked and showcased in the dashboard. So user also can perform the analysis through the statistic charts. So in our future roadmap, we also invented the machine learning and the deep learning as one part of our module in V1. Instead of construction a lot of the back-end programming code such as Python and its libraries, okay, which is who know how going to construct all the machine modules, so you know what I'm trying to say. The normal user without the coding experience, now they can have a same privileges to experience to build their own machine learning models with minimum effort. Just simply drag and drop the module component like the alert plan module. With this, user can fully utilize the available tools and machine learning modules to construct their own. From the data pre-processing, train set and the test set splitting, do the scaling, and then model training, compare the result between data set versus prediction set, and then also visualize the validation result for easy debugging. This one is going to ensure the accuracy of the training and prevent any overfitting occurrence. So at this point, with this, I would like to go to end my session and pass to Mr. Gary. So thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you for staying with us throughout this webinar for so long. So in this section, I will speak about on-premise versus cloud and the associated packages available with it. So I will not go into details on pricing here, but upon request, we have to follow up session with you and regarding each case model pricing proposal and it's suitable, especially to you. So in this seminar, I spoke about on-premise and cloud. Both have their advantages and disadvantages. On-premise software is installed locally on the company's own computers and servers. So V1 software is installed inside the server and usually LAN cable connected or with Wi-Fi. Cloud-based software is usually hosted on the vendor server or V1 server and accessed through a web browser. So over in this slide shows the key differences between on-premise and cloud. On-premise actually is a one-off on the price, but there will be support maintenance costs, after warranty period, and other hidden costs within your organization. For example, hiring IT people. Whereas for cloud-based, there's only yearly subscription costs and the fees applies, and this covers all the maintenance costs and ongoing training. So which is suitable for which organization depending on your data and also your preference. So in this slide, we organize it in three phases, which we talk to you about: connect, visualize, and ProAct. Where actually connect, it is a project driven because each and every industry scenario is very different. Therefore, a consultation from our SI is usually needed. However, if you have relevant data that can be extracted by your own teammates or your team members, then it will be easier for us, whereby we proceed with visualization and ProAct. So in these on-premise packages, we have four types. Earth is usually a software whereby you install on your prepared suitable server on-premise. Neptune is a small PC usually used for less than 1 to 2 machines connected for proof of concept usage. Uranus is the normal package usually for our customers and would need to connect to multiple machines and provide sufficient processing power and of course RAM also. So Saturn is for larger factory setup to connect to more than 20 machines. The server are those blade types that sits in the IT room. Other options include control tower setup, or like for example, a TV setup to display at a general area, or probably your office, and of course the e-ticketing. The far right will be the training included in the package and the plan, and we'll launch online self-learning as well. So for this month, until June, we will provide a special offer of 20% discount if you place the order booking with us. So in this slide is our cloud packages divided into number of users. For example, cloud 5 for 5 users and cloud 50 for 50 users. The more user packages, the higher per user's storage capacity. For example, cloud 5 per user is about 1 gigabyte, while cloud 50 per user storage is 2 gigabyte. The rest are the same as the premises per connect on the project basis, while training are also included. This concludes all the presentation that we have for today. And the world today is actually changing, and we are living in an unprecedented time. So we are doing a webinar at home. However, our livelihood will still need to continue, and so is all our businesses as well. Don't you agree with me? I would like to borrow a remark from Professor Sunil Gupta from Harvard Business School. He said, digitization is a journey and not a destination. Digitalization enables the next level of breakthroughs in operational performance such as cost, delivery, and quality. So I'd like to end this with a saying, Industry 4 is a journey of digital transformation. So start now, start small, and scale fast. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your presentation, Mr. Gary and Mr. Yep. We will go ahead and take some time for your questions now. Just a reminder, please be sure to type your question using the link to the Google form that I just provided in the group chat. So we'll take a few minutes to collect some of your questions. So take a few moments and fill out the Google form, and we'll start collecting now. Okay, let's start with some questions. Here I can see we have a few questions. The first one, let's choose our audience, and they would like to know if third-party machines don't have the data extraction software, then how should they proceed on this? I would like to invite Mr. Ryan to answer this question.
Related to the third party, I mean the machine maker that doesn't provide any kind of the data extraction facility here. So we need to go into check wherever the machine itself, they do have any controller available for them to going to have a port open for us to going to get connected, and then what are the protocol that they have in the PLC itself or the controller itself. If there is no available at this point, I think the worst come to worst is we need to going to apply the edge equipment device to get all the machine connected, like install the sensors, install the HMI OCR screen if they have a VGA port, and then all those kind of the HAR equipment need to go to apply. So without touching any machine equipment that currently based here and now, including the controller itself.
Interesting. Thank you for answering that, Mr. Ryan. Thank you. So let's continue with a second question. Okay. Here we have an audience asking, can we give command to machine in the ProAct stage in the SMT line machine?
So far for our development in the alert plan here, most of the well-known protocol that we need to go into check back with our R&D team. So seems like we able to the use case, what we are doing, the use case right now is a MQTT protocol. So for the MT Connect and the OPCUA and others kind of the protocol, which is still under development, and then soon and later it will be coming up very soon. So, but this one will be one part of our roadmap journey for the V1 updates in the next series. I would say that it can be doable to imply this kind of the feature.
So they ask for Connect section, is it considered as big data analytic, right? Can you provide some example programming tools or model to build out the data source?
For build up for the data source, it can be varies depend on how the tools that you're going to use. For the data extraction part, the data extraction can be come up with certain open source like the Node-RED, AWS, IO brokers, all those kind of things. These are the tools used to be going to collect all those kind of sensor and then convert into the classified data. So it depends on the programming, how they are going to use Node-RED platform to going to write all the codes and then coming directly to the database. Yeah.
Okay, I think that will be all for our Q&A sessions as time is closing by. Okay, so and there are other questions that we haven't answered. No worries, we'll answer them offline for you. So don't worry about it. And we will also include some the full webinar recording afterwards. Okay, and thank you, Mr. Ryan, for appreciate your time for answering all these questions.